Hello everybody, my name is Professor Brian Cox. Yes, I am. And basically I'm a physicist, I'm a scientist. Yes, I am. I'm qualified in particle physics, and what's more, I'm a fellow of the Royal Society. I am. And at the moment I'm working at CERN, which is the big nuclear particle research centre down in Geneva, Switzerland. Here I am, yes, and I'm working on the Large Hadron Collider. You know, that thing that smashes the large hadrons together, you know. And large hadrons are kind of like the testicles of God, really, you know. But I don't believe in God because I'm a skeptic, you see. I was a skeptic all my life, but I'm even more of a skeptic now, you know, because I'll tell you why in a minute. Anyway, we get these testicles of God, I mean these large hadrons, and we slam them together and God goes, ow! No. Well, no, what happens is you get these antimatter particles and Higgs bosons coming off them, you know, and we sort of catch them with baseball mitts and we look at them through microscopes and poke them with tweezers and things like that, and I think that's great fun. Now, people have told me that the Large Hadron Collider is dangerous, but no, it's anyone who thinks that is a twat and they're a nobber. They said that it could create mini black holes and strangelets, and that the Earth could be sucked into one of the black holes, and that will wipe the cheesy grin off my face. But look, I'm still smiling. I am. I've just had my teeth cleaned by my dental hygienist. All the girls love it, you know. Anyway, I'm also a presenter of a BBC radio show called The Infinite Monkey Cage with Robin Ince. Now, Robin Ince is much younger than me, but he looks older, and that really pisses him off, and he's told me so on the air. Yes, he has. Do you like my hair? I can flick it around like this a bit, you know. Because I used to be a keyboard player. I used to play keyboard for the band Dream, you know, which on our songs, I can't remember any of our songs right now, but I used to play the keyboard in a really orgasmic way. Yes, I did, and I even cleaned up the mess afterwards. Anyway, I present a TV programme called Stargazing Live, and I was at Jodrell Bank Radio Telescope for the BBC, and you know what they did? They cancelled it. They cancelled the live broadcast because what we was going to do, we were going to point the radio telescope towards a planet called Threppleton Holmes B, and it was called that because it was discovered by two amateur astronomers called Threppleton and Holmes. And it was the first ever extrasolar planet to be discovered by amateur astronomers. It's not going around our sun, it's going around another star. It's amazing, that, really. Anyway, the BBC said I couldn't broadcast it because it might breach the corporation's editorial guidelines. I mean, come on. It's a star. What are the BBC afraid of? That the aliens are going to swear on live primetime TV? Don't give me a break. Now, this person called Ben, he got in touch with me and he told me that it was the BBC were trying to cover up the secrets about alien life. This Ben Emlyn Jones person sounds like a stupid fat bald taffy to me. He's not handsome and slim and wiry like I am. Anyway, I don't buy that for a second, Ben. All right, I think you're just a nobber and you're a twat. And you're a conspiracy theorist, because it's a conspiracy theory that the media is trying to cover up anything to do with aliens, all right? And I don't believe in conspiracy theories, all right, Ben, the J.R. Porter, whatever you are. Anyway, I actually met Ben once, because Ben went to one of my live shows at Skeptics in the Pub, London. And that was in the day before I was the famous media megastar that I am today. And in those days I could turn up at events and I wouldn't be mobbed by lots and lots of horny women throwing their knickers at me and things like that. You know, and people writing tribute songs about me. Oh, those were the days, and I really do miss them. Well, actually I don't. But Ben was there anyway. I wish he hadn't. I wouldn't have gone along to that event if I knew a nobber and a twat and a conspiracy theorist were going to be there. All of them all three of them together in that same fat bald body of his. Anyway, someone actually phoned up Manchester University because I'd still have a postal address there. I can't tell you my actual address because lots and lots of horny women will come round and I'll hang their knickers on the garden fence, and my wife won't like that. Gia, she won't like that one bit. She won't like it any more than she did on the September the 11th 2001, which is when we met. Anyway, someone phoned up Manchester University and they said, we can't tell you when Brian Cox is going to be doing a lecture again because he gets too many of his fans around, so that's just too bad. So you'll have to they said you'll just have to go through Professor Brian Cox's public relations agent. I've got a public relations agent. Aren't I famous? I bet you none of the other physicists at CERN have a public relations agent like me. Either. Anyway, I've got a website called Apollo's Children. There's not much on there, just 2 photos and 1 video. It's not really a very big website, but I like it anyway. And I like the name because I love the moon landings, and I want to go to Mars, and I want to go to the moon before I die. Anyway, the people I really can't hate, and I actually ran out of a taxi once because the driver believed in this. I can't stand people who believe that the moon landings were fake. I think they're twats. They're twats, and they're nobbers. They're nobbers of the worst kind. Fuck it. I'm not going to discuss it. I was driving along in a car when I was on BBC Horizon, looking really cool, driving through the American desert like this, and I said, I'm not going to discuss it. I don't want to even talk about it. And it's an outtake from BBC Horizon, which you can get on YouTube. Anyway, I bet that fucking Ben Emlyn Jones believes the moon landings were fake. What a twat. What a nobber. I can't believe he believes such knobbish, twatish bullshit. Yes, he does anyway. Anyway, yes, last year, July 2012, I was awarded an honorary fellowship. At the University of Huddersfield, and I accepted it with great honour because I think it's so wonderful to have an honorary fellowship like that. And then, but unfortunately, something's gone wrong. Because you may not be aware of this, but on September the 28th this year, the 5th annual UK Exopolitics Expo is going to take place at the University of Huddersfield. Go to exopoliticsgreatbritain.com. Oh, I shouldn't be bloody advertising it. I'm Professor Brian Cox, and I hate conspiracies, and I hate you. Anyone who believes in UFOs is a nobber and a twat. Anyway, this whole. What I did was I immediately went back to. I phoned them up. I phoned up Huddersfield University, and I says, you can stick your fucking honorary fellowship up your arse. Because I don't want to be associated with any institution which hosts the 5th annual UK Exopolitics Expo. Because it's full of people who believe in UFOs and they think they're flying saucers. But I tell you now, if any flying saucer you see is not a flying saucer at all right? It's a truck full of burning manure or a weather balloon, and usually you'll find it's been driven by a parachute test dummy. I mean, I don't know anything about UFOs, but I am a skeptic, and I really am. And I'll tell you what, I don't need to know much about it to know it's not true. In fact, I think ignorance is strength, and freedom is slavery, and war is peace. Anyway, I just love astronomy, actually. I'm really, really interested in all the planets and things. I want to fly to the planets in a rocket. And I think my favourite planet is Uranus. Yes, I'm absolutely fascinated by Uranus. In fact, I think I'd like to probe into Uranus very deeply. And did you know that there are rings around Uranus? There are. There are little rings around Uranus. And there are moons behind Uranus. Yes. In fact, did you know that Uranus is a gas giant? Yes, it is. Anyway, I'd just like to tell you all that I am a major media mega star. And I was a skeptic all my life, and I believe in science and reason. But I tell you what, right? I'm becoming the new Patrick Moore and the new David Attenborough. And Professor Chris French, I've appeared on TV with Professor Chris French, and he did something very strange once. He seemed to turn into this big grey creature with a black cowl, and he says, "I'm looking for a young apprentice." And I said, "Well, who are you thinking of, Emperor?" Sorry, Professor Chris French. And French, he turned around and he said, "You, Brian, you!" So I'm going to be the new TV Mr. Skeptic. And I'll tell you what, I actually have been a skeptic all my life, but I think to myself, I'm even more of a skeptic now. I really am. And I'm a skeptic because I'm going to be the new Susan Blackmore and the new Professor Chris French. And whenever you have anything on TV, even if I know absolutely bugger all about it, right, you're going to invite me on to present the skeptic side across. I mean, I don't need to know anything about it to know something's not true, do I? I mean, I present programmes on biology like The Wonders of Life, because David Attenborough's too old and wrinkly now, so they get a young, fresh-faced, sweeping-haired stud like me to do it. Well, you know, I mean, I'm a physicist, not a biologist, but who cares? You don't need to know anything about anything to be an expert. All you need is to be photogenic and have a big wide smile and finely polished teeth and say nobber and twat in a really condescending tone. That's all you need to do to be an expert. And so I don't want anyone coming me and telling me, I don't want telling me the moon landings are fake and stuff like that, okay? We don't want you. I said this on Stargazing Live. Some twat and nobber wrote in and said, "Professor Brian Cox, did you know the moon landings are fake?" And this is why. We don't want you. Go and watch ITV. Anyway, see, I was on my programme the other day, and I was on my radio programme with Robin Ince, and we were doing the Infinite Monkey Cage. And the subject of ghosts came up. Well, seeing as I'm going to be Mr. TV Skeptic, I don't believe in ghosts. I actually don't know anything about ghosts. I only know things about the Large Hadron Collider. And I don't know anything else, you see. And I don't know any of this crap about, you know, how there's ghosts. I don't know paranormal investigation. I don't do that. I think if you actually investigate something scientifically and properly, it tends to cloud the issue. I think you have to just forget facts and evidence and just concentrate on rhetoric and calling people nobbers and twats, I think. So I think anyone who believes in ghosts is a nobber. Anyway, hello. Oh, Gia, I'm just coming. Hello, Gia. How are you? How are you, lass? Nice to see you. Robin? Oh, Brian. Why did I call you Robin? Brian, someone has delivered a package for you. Oh, that's nice, dear. What is it? Oh, it's a little package. I'm just going to open it up now. What is this? It's a doorknob. Someone's just sent me a doorknob. Why on earth would someone send me a doorknob? I already have 50,000 doorknobs in my 20,000 bedroom mansion, which I've got from my big salary from the BBC. Let's have a little note with it. Let's have a look. Dear Professor Brian Cox, I wonder if you're aware of the Cookies for Kelly programme, which was organised by the American Exopolitics community. When Mr. Kelly said that everyone who believed in UFOs was a cookie, we sent him thousands of cookies. And his office was inundated. This was the Washington Times. It was inundated with cookies. Well, I'll tell you what. Seeing as you think that people who believe in ghosts are nobbers, we've organised another campaign, just like the Cookies for Kelly campaign. It's called Knobs for Cox. So they've sent me a doorknob here. This is unusual. A doorknob for Professor Brian Cox. It's a nice doorknob. It doesn't have any sharp edges or anything that could hurt me. Someone's just sent it to me for a joke. Well, I don't think that's very funny. I don't think you should be making fun of me, actually, whoever sent this. I bet it was that Ben Emlyn Jones who sent me this. I wait till I see that twat and that nobber. Because I think I'm a very serious person. I have to be respected as a major media mega star and a publicity whore. Sorry, an expert that's used by the media. Not a whore. I'm not a media whore at all. Anyway, so I don't know what I'm gonna do with this knob, but don't make sure none of you send me any doorknobs. I don't want any more doorknobs. All right. So don't send me any. I'm not sorry because you are knobbers and you are twats. All right. I can say that without being inundated by fucking doorknobs, can't I? You bloody bastard conspiracy theorists, loony, wally astrologers.